None of these rules, as I've highlighted to you before, protect the former Senator Biden from being held accountable for having classified records he has no business having, which is any classified records from his days as a senator. Let's bring you up to date on the Clinton, I shouldn't say, well, I guess it is Clinton. Clinton's always behind some of this corruption, right? There's always a Clinton issue with regard to government corruption, even years after they're out of office. And in this case, we've had the targeting of Trump over these documents that he had after he left office. And as I've described to you before, Judicial Watch was in court, I think it was 10 years ago now, for records that Bill Clinton had after he left office, some of which were arguably classified, the so-called Clinton sock drawer tapes. And the Justice Department and the National Archives and the federal court all told us there's nothing you can do. No one can second guess the president with respect to taking any records from office. It designated them as personal or classified. In fact, the Justice Department told the court, in the courtroom, we've got the transcript, if he has records after he leaves office, they're presumptively personal. And arguably that analysis also applies to former vice presidents. They're harassing former Vice President Pence on this issue. Barack Obama, it's amazing how he's able to escape, but that's another topic. And of course, Vice President Biden, under his new theory of the law, has been caught up, and he's been doing, he's had classified records in a way that suggests that they were being misused under his theory of the law by people like Hunter Biden or himself. On top of that, you've got the records that were found in his office, some of which were from his days as senator. And you may recall Judicial Watch is suing, along with the Daily Caller News Foundation, for records from his Senate days that are being held at the University of Delaware. And they have a secret deal that they don't want to give us any information on. And we've been in court pushing and pushing and pushing. We asked for the FOIA, we asked for the records under FOIA because the University of Delaware is supported with taxpayer dollars, and the court says, well, no, there's no record here that tax dollars are being used to support these records. And then we're like, well, what about it, this deal? Were taxpayer dollars used to support this deal? We can't even get a copy of the secret deal, and they don't want to give us any records about that. Isn't that curious? And so we've been in court time and time again. And I keep on saying, it's not just a matter of, suing. You've got to push and push and push. And Judicial Watch just smashes through the stone walls legally so often and so successfully. That's why we're the #1 open records litigator in the country, not because of the volume of the work, but because of the success of the work. And so even up in Delaware, we've had the appeals court side with us at least once on getting more information about the secret deal to hide these records from the American people. Now, of course, now that it's been confirmed, as we suggested might be the case, that there's classified records from his days as vice president, the FBI, unlike what they did for Trump, went there and did a quiet little secret review of the Senate records, and they won't tell us whether they have any classified information in addition to what they've already found. So we already know that the public interest in getting access to this information has been further heightened by the FBI's looking at these records for classified information. By the way, none of these rules, as I've highlighted to you before, protect the former Senator Biden from being held accountable for having classified records he has no business having, which is any classified records from his days as a senator. So there's significant legal liability. To the degree there is any legal liability, it's significant because of his records that he's had that are classified from his days in the Senate. So I think it's quite curious that they don't want to tell us what they found in the Senate records that they've been hiding from the American people, and that only Judicial Watch and the Daily Caller News Foundation has been trying to get. Judicial Watch is continuing to be in court up in Delaware about these Senate records. It's not just classified records we're concerned about, but as you know, he's been accused of sexual assault while he was a senator. There may be records that reflect on that. And other conduct he had, especially given his corruption while he was vice president and afterwards. Is there any doubt he was corrupt while he was a senator? So I think there are core corruption issues that could be exposed by full disclosure of these Senate records. So isn't it curious that it's only little old Judicial Watch and our friends at the Daily Caller News Foundation that are doing the heavy lifting to get these records? You would think the former records, the records of a sitting president from his days as a senator for decades would be of interest to the public and the media. Nope. If there's anything dangerous, the media doesn't want to see it. That's becoming readily apparent with this corrupt media when it comes to Joe Biden. But you can trust Judicial Watch to work hard to get the truth about the full record of Joe Biden. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.